I made 10 breakfast burritos using the sheet pan method, and it is so easy and delicious that it might just become my favorite way of meal prepping food. First up, you obviously need a sheet pan. Mine is 40 by 30 centimeters with a height of 3 centimeters or 15 by 12 inches with a height of 1.5 inches. Before you buy a sheet pan, however, please make sure that it fits into your oven. I thought that in Germany there was a standard size for all, but as you can see, that's not the case. If yours doesn't fit on the racks, you can just place it on the bottom of the oven. That works totally fine. So to start, I'm going to chop up 500 grams of potatoes. You don't need to peel them, just wash them in the sink for a second and cut them into very small pieces. I usually halve the potatoes twice, vertically and horizontally, before slicing them up, and once they're ready, place them directly on your baking sheet. Next up, 300 grams of onions. Try to dice them small for the same reason. 300 grams are about 2 to 3 medium onions. Dice them up and place them on the sheet as well. And finally, I'm also going to dice 2 red bell peppers. I like to slice them into planks first, turn them, and then cut them into small bite-sized pieces. Once everything is in the sheet pan, add 30 grams of olive oil, that's 3 grams per burrito, and 2 pinches of salt. No other seasonings yet, those will come later in the recipe. Give everything a good mix, then pop it into the preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 F for 30 to 40 minutes, and halfway through, give everything a stir to make sure it browns evenly. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare 500 grams of extra lean ground beef, which has 5% fat. However, a lot of you may not have access to extra lean beef, and that's fine. You can use higher fat ground meat. Just keep in mind that more fat also means more calories. Here's a list of a couple of variations. Next are the eggs, and you can really play with the calories depending on what you want. I added 20 whole eggs, so 2 per burrito. And yes, if you are from America, you are seeing this right. In Germany, eggs are sold in packs of 10 and not in 12. Each egg weighs around 50 grams, so if you want to save calories, you could, for example, swap out 10 whole eggs for 500 grams of pure egg whites. That would reduce the calories by about 50 per burrito and works just as well. Crack all the eggs into a big bowl, add a strong pinch of salt, and whisk until you have a smooth mixture. So I've seen recipes where people add Greek yogurt or even cottage cheese to increase protein. You can do that too, but if you use cottage cheese, please blend it with a mixer first so it mixes properly with the eggs. I would suggest adding about 300 grams for this recipe. By now, the potatoes should be ready, so add your ground beef on top and break it up with a spatula so you don't end up with big chunks of meat. And now you can add the seasonings. Add a pinch of salt, freshly cracked black pepper, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons garlic powder, and 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. Then give it a very good stir and place it back in the oven for 10 minutes. That's completely enough since the sheet is still hot. Once the meat is ready, pour in the eggs and stir again. So this is where you really have to be careful. Grab the sheet pan with both hands and really slowly place it back into the oven for another 10 minutes. Don't rush this step, please, and be careful. Everything is hot and also heavy. Next, prepare 2 large plates before removing the pan from the oven, and look at this. Really nicely cooked eggs. All of this now needs to be divided into 10 portions. What I did is cut once horizontally through the middle of the pan and then use something for orientation like a measuring tape and cut it into 10 pieces. In this case, it was 8 centimeters wide. Before making the burritos, place the egg pieces on the prepared plates so they can cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes. They are still steaming, and if you roll them right away, that steam will make the tortillas soggy in the fridge. Speaking of tortillas, you can use large or medium-sized ones, and both will work. Using medium tortillas will save you about 70 calories per burrito. I will show you all the macro variations at the end. To assemble, place 1 egg portion on a tortilla, add 15 grams of cheddar cheese on top, and then roll it into a burrito. With medium tortillas, you won't be able to close the sides, so it will be more like a wrap. With large tortillas, however, you can tuck in the sides and get a proper burrito shape. I made both versions, and honestly, the difference isn't that big. It's just about whether you want more or less tortilla flavor. Once all 10 burritos are prepared, I first roll each one into a piece of parchment paper and then into aluminum foil. The parchment paper is great for microwaving later, and the foil keeps your fridge from smelling like egg burritos. Toss them into the freezer now for up to 3 months, and I like to keep 2 or 3 in the fridge to defrost overnight, and in the morning just remove the foil and microwave on high for 1 minute. You can also take them straight from the freezer. If you do that, reduce the power to 50% and then microwave for 5 minutes. Finally, and this step is optional, you can make a quick sauce. In a blender, add 300 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt, 15 grams of olive oil, the juice of 1 lime, some fresh greens like cilantro or even mint, a pinch of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Blend on high for 60 to 90 seconds, and to store it, I recommend cheap squeeze bottles that you can buy from Amazon. Pour the sauce in and keep it in the fridge for up to 2 weeks, and when you're ready to eat, just squeeze some into a small bowl and use it as a dip for your burrito. This is so delicious, especially dipped in this sauce, and the macros are 541 calories with 31 grams of protein with a large tortilla and 2 eggs, and 434 calories with 28 grams of protein if you use a medium tortilla and 1 egg plus 50 grams of egg whites. I've made a cookbook that has helped over 10,000 people lose weight and keep it off, and it includes more than 250 breakfast, lunch and dessert recipes, and the best part is that every time I update the book with new recipes, you get them all for free once you've purchased it. This book can seriously change your life. The link is in the description.